Well, I think I'm going to start sounding like a old curmudgeon because these darn kids, they don't know anything. What do teenagers not know? What are they clueless about that you and I kind of is just second nature to us? This is coming from one of our coworkers here at the radio station, Jet Lee. He posted something on social media, resharing a reel, if you know what that is. And it showed a teenager being asked a series of questions by their parents, just having them define terms that you and I probably, we were inundated with it, not even like 20 years ago. So I'm going to play this for you, but I want you to add to it. I want you to add to the list of terms that teenagers are just absolutely clueless about. And you can call in live and local 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. You can also find me on social media. Just search out Bishop on Air, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Again, Bishop on Air. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We can connect that way. But here is that social media video that is circulating, having a 15-year-old answer questions about a variety of different types of terms that you and I, it's just second nature for us. So check this out. Dan, go.
Is a collect call.
What's a collect call?
It's a call that is being collected.
Who is Zach Morris?
Who's Zach Morris?
A street magician.
What is a burnt CD?
What's a burnt CD?
A CD that's been ran through. Don't work anymore.
Okay. What is a fax machine?
So it tells you facts. It's a machine that tells you facts.
What is a Walkman?
It's someone who walks with somebody at a wedding.
Oh.
What is a Rolodex?
A watch.
Oh, no, it's not.
What is long distance?
Long distance relationship.
What is dial-up?
Dial-up?
Dial-up.
Dial.
Oh, where you dial up a phone.
What does a...
Asking my 15...
All right, so it goes on from there, but let's hear from you now. 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. You can call in live and local here with Springfield's Morning News, and I want to hear from you about what you think are some of the terms that teenagers are just absolutely clueless on. Again, what's a fax machine? A machine that tells you facts. Who's Zach Morris? A street musician? I don't know if Zach Morris is a street musician, but what do you think? What are some of these terms that you and I know? A burnt CD? What's a burnt CD? A CD that's been run through, doesn't work anymore. Interesting. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning. My son and I were driving home yesterday, and it's funny that you brought this topic up. We were talking about some different music and things like that, and I was telling him about MTV and videos, and he had no idea what that was and he related it to like YouTube.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about you can't, the only place you could get new music was like listening to the radio or MTV, and we would record stuff on cassette tapes, which nobody knows what a cassette tape is anymore either. Right. And I thought it would be illegal to record the radio onto the cassette tape so that you could have that music.
Oh my gosh.
So it was just a really interesting conversation about how you just had so little access to things, like so many less choices, and that they take for granted now. And it was just interesting that they didn't know what MTV was or cassette tapes and stuff like that.
Oh, it's hilarious. It cracks me up. And hearing this 15-year-old's response to just some of these simple terms like, what's long distance? I mean, they probably don't even remember when you had to pay for minutes on a cell phone. Or when you had to pay for texts on a cell phone. Now all that's like just unlimited. But there were times back in the day where, if you remember, we got those AOL CDs in the mail, or they had like the just buckets of them at the department store to get your AOL CD, and you can sign up for America Online and have 1,500 minutes for $30 a month or something ridiculous like that. What's dial-up? Yeah. If we were to do some time travel, I'm sure that they could come up with all kinds of terms to ask people back in the 80s. Well, what's this mean? What's YouTube mean, huh? What's on fleek mean, huh? So that's not how it works, though. And it's just pretty funny to see how rapidly some terms can change in just short order. Good morning. What are some of those terms that you think teenagers are clueless about? Good morning.
Well, I was going to mention the hearing your parents say, don't make that phone call until after 9 because the landline minutes, long distance to the next town we're going to be free, or your cell phone minutes are free.
That's exactly right.
But the other one I always heard a lot was, don't slam the phone receiver down because you're going to break the phone.
Right. Yeah. What do you mean? What receiver? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm just a teenager. So what do you think? What are some of those terms that you was common knowledge to you back in the day, but now it seems to be no longer in our lexicon, no longer in our dictionary, so to speak. But hearing some teenagers respond to questions like, what's a fax machine, and saying it's a machine that gives you facts, I guess in a way that's kind of correct, but we're talking F-A-X, not F-A-C-T-S. So VCR, one of them, somebody just messaged in. Yeah, some people still have VCRs though, and they may bust them out, blow the dust off, and say, look at this. But that same person also on social media here just messaged and said that MySpace. Is MySpace already that far out that a 15-year-old is not going to know what MySpace is? That was like, Web 1.0. That was the social media channel that really kind of got people to clamor to get a social media channel. But how things have changed. I don't know. If you go to MySpace right now, good luck trying to find stuff, because it's likely not going to be there. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. What terms do you think teenagers are absolutely clueless about that was second nature to you? Good morning.
Morning, Greg. So there's the, roll up the window, in the car, because no one can actually physically roll it up anymore.
Right.
And I've the MySpace one. There is a meme out there somewhere where someone says, can we actually put music on our Facebook page so that when people come to it, they can actually hear a song?
I've seen
and,
that.
Someone's like genuinely sad. It's like, yep, we finally hit that freaking spot.
Wow.
Where no one knows about MySpace.
MySpace is a thing of the past.
Well, and then the history of it is your only friend or your first friend on MySpace.
It was Tom, right?
Yeah, he sold it.
Yeah.
And he abandoned
that ship. And that was probably a smart move on his part. Incredible. 217-629-7970. What terms do you think are commonplace for you, but a teenager knows nothing about it? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah, so the one that really gets me is the fact that most kids today do not know what rewind means. I was telling my son, like, hey, just rewind the video, on YouTube, and he's like, well, what are you talking about? And I'm like, just go back, because to them you just take the finger. There's no concept of rewinding the actual videotape, which is what we literally used to do. And the one that really hurts me is that no one that's young seems to understand what T9 texting is. That was like how I knew I was a master texter when I was one of the first people when I was a kid to T9 text, because I didn't have to hit the button 7 times to get to the L.
Yes, no, I remember. Yeah, so each number on the dial pad, 1 was ABC, 2 was DEF. Yes. I got you. Right. Yeah, we used to have to do that, really quickly enter the text that way.
Yeah, there was no alphabet on the phone. There were just 10 numbers, and they each represented 3 letters. And if you had T9 texting where it would try to guess your word after you typed the numbers, like hello.
Right.
But if you didn't have that, man, you were taking a long time to tell that girl you really wanted to go on a date tomorrow.
That's too funny. Good stuff. Appreciate that. I think another one when you're talking music, secret tracks, hidden tracks. Because nowadays, at least, you don't hear that, right? I mean, there's so many CDs that I had as a kid, and even on cassette tapes that, after the 11 songs on the album were done, and then all of a sudden there's like 20 minutes of silence, and then there's like a secret track on there. Do they still do that? Does a teenager know what that is? And how just awesome to be able to find that secret track was? 217-629-7970. Other things that kids know nothing about that were commonplace for you. Good morning.
Morning. There's actually a website out there that's like the old MySpace. It's called Space Hey. You can actually do the old backgrounds with the songs on it.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah, not familiar with that. I'll have to check that out sometime. Appreciate that. All right, guys. It's good to kind of get away from some of the madness of current events and politics and kind of, drive that wedge between the generations, right? Because when a 15-year-old's asked what a fax machine is, and they say that it's a machine that tells you facts, or when they ask what's long distance, and they say, oh, that's a relationship. No, that was something that likely caused you to get slapped by your parents because you made a long-distance phone call at the wrong time of day. Good stuff here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WNAY, Springfield's